just keep doing the same old thing you were doing before. You have to take your skills and attack the new frontiers.
Bill Gates, born William Henry Gates III, was born on October 28, 1955. He is best known as the co-founder of Microsoft Corporation. He is known as one of the best-known entrepreneurs and pioneers of the microcomputer revolution of the 1970s and 80s. He is currently the second richest man in the world, just behind Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. Today we're going to be talking about Bill Gates' mindset, and I'm going to be giving you 10 of his most empowering and most inspirational tips in pursuing success in your life. Keep watching until the end to develop the billionaire's mindset for yourself. Who knows, you might be making billions in the future yourself. This is Fraud Explained. To enjoy more of our videos, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell, or else I'll be looking into you too. Bill Gates was born and raised in Seattle, Washington. When he was 13 years old, Gates realized that he was passionate about computers. He recalls being ecstatic when the Mothers Club at his school was able to raise enough money to purchase a teletype that was able to connect through phone lines with a GE time-sharing computer. From that point onward, a young Gates taught himself everything he could learn about computers and how they tick. His friend, Paul Allen, shared the same love and enthusiasm for computers, and their shared passion for technology bonded the two boys together. In 1975, Bill Gates and Paul Allen took advantage of the internet boom and decided to start Microsoft. Just a few years later, the company grew and grew so that it was not only dominating locally, but it was also dominating the technology industry worldwide. Fast forward to the late 2010s when Microsoft was made a part of the big tech as one of the most powerful and most innovative tech companies in history. Since 1987, Bill Gates has been a fixture in the Forbes list of the world's wealthiest people. In fact, from 1995 to 2017, he held the Forbes title of richest person in the world, only missing out on a few years along the way. As of November 2019, Gates has an estimated net worth of $107.1 billion, which makes him the second wealthiest person in the world. Now, how did Bill Gates make his way up to the top? It certainly was not easy with so much competition around him. However, Gates had a vision. He dreamed of building his own technology empire. That, coupled with a drive to succeed, was what brought him to the top. I strongly believe that if you have a goal in mind and the will to follow through, nothing can ever stop you from achieving that goal. Let's take a peek into Bill Gates' mind with 10 of his most inspiring and most empowering sayings. Number 10 might come as a surprise. Number 1. While your success may be great and should be celebrated, you should not count on them too much. Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. If you look at his life in terms of achievements and wealth, Bill Gates probably qualifies as one of the most successful men in the world. However, success is not all it's cut out to be. Gates believed that nothing is permanent in life, except change. While you may be succeeding throughout the various stages of your life, you should also not get too comfortable. You could lose it in an instant, and it could leave you devastated. Instead, you must focus on how to make yourself better each time. Number 2. Don't compare yourself. You are your biggest competition. Don't compare yourself with anyone in this world. If you do so, you are insulting yourself. Bill Gates believed that everyone is unique, with their own set of talents and strengths. He knew his own capabilities and capitalized on those. Comparing your journey with another person's is not only pointless, but it is also counterproductive. You will do more harm than good if you compare yourself with other people, because instead of challenging yourself to be better because you genuinely want to improve, you will be clouded with insecurities. Number 3. Take criticism in stride. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. When you're selling a product or a service, you're bound to get reviews that are not so nice. However, people's criticisms are valid and should be taken into account, especially when they are your customers. When you get a bunch of your customers complaining about the same problem, you instantly get to see where you can improve in your company. You get to see the problem for what it is, and you can finally get to work solving it. Number 4. Learn from your mistakes. It's fine to celebrate success, but it's more important to heed the lessons of failure. Again, Bill Gates stresses the impermanence of success. He acknowledges that failure is one of life's greatest teachers, and that you need to be able to learn from what made you fail in order to prevent it from happening again in the future. This is especially true in business, because you need to make sure that your customer can trust you to live up to their expectations. Number 5. Don't be afraid of taking risks. To win big, you sometimes have to take big risks. Bill Gates went out on a limb and decided to pursue a career in the field of technology during the dot-com boom in the late 1970s to the 1980s. Without his risk, he would not have Microsoft. Microsoft changed the game with how they manufactured computers and software. To this date, Microsoft is still the largest personal computer company in the world, and that's all thanks to Bill Gates and his leap of faith. Number 6. Surround yourself with people who would help you grow and be honest with you. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. Feedback is incredibly important, especially in the avenue of business. You need to be able to keep track of what you are doing and how it affects your output. In these cases, you would need people who will be able to tell you the honest truth. You don't need a yes man. You need people who will be able to challenge you to grow and help you troubleshoot any problems you might encounter along the way. Number 7. Read a book. I really had a lot of dreams when I was a kid, and I think a great deal of that grew out of the fact that I had a chance to read a lot. Growing up, Bill Gates did a lot of reading. He is often described as a bookworm, with a penchant for titles that are both hopeful and enlightening. Books are magic because not only do they provide you with tons of useful information, but they also expand your ability to dream and imagine. Gates himself credits a lot of lessons learned from reading books, and often suggests titles for his followers to read. Number 8. Pinpoint specific problems and come up with doable solutions. I believe if you show people the problems and you show them the solutions, they will be moved to act. Even before Bill Gates co-founded Microsoft, he already had that problem-solving mindset. He wanted to make sure that he was able to cater to the needs of his clients and be able to make life generally easier for them through his computers. He says that innovation is meant to make you think outside the box to develop ways to make people have an easier time with solving their problems. That is what he aimed for during the first few years of Microsoft, and what he strives to live out in his life today. More on that later. Number 9. Recognize your privilege and use it for good. Although I don't have a prescription for what others should do, I know I have been very fortunate and feel a responsibility to give back to society in a very significant way. When he started earning big, Bill Gates was able to realize how fortunate he was to have so much and how much of a difference he could make by helping out others who are not as fortunate as he was. In 1994, he donated some of his Microsoft stock to open the William H. Gates Foundation, which aims to promote proper healthcare and offer aid and assistance to impoverished communities all over the world. The foundation was later renamed to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and is currently the largest private foundation in the world. Number 10. Make do with what you got. Life is not fair. Get used to it. This sounds pretty harsh, but it's true. Life will not always deal you a full hand. You can either sit and sulk about how life isn't fair, or make the most of what is handed to you. Some days you might find yourself on the upside, while some days you will find yourself hitting rock bottom. However, no matter what life hurls at you, you just have to keep rolling with the punches and keep moving forward. So where is Bill Gates now? Well, in 2006, he stepped down from his full-time role at Microsoft to assume a part-time position. He has since then devoted his time and energy to working full-time for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill Gates and his wife Melinda are considered as two of the most generous philanthropists in the United States, having donated over $28 billion to various charities around the globe. There have also been reports that the couple plans to donate 95% of Gates' fortune to charity. When the coronavirus pandemic broke out during the first half of 2020, Bill Gates used his platform and spoke out about the need to boost the United States testing efforts in order to flatten the curve. He points out that more stringent measures need to be implemented in order to fight the virus. This includes developing test kits that are accessible to people from all social classes and could read results instantly and accurately, especially for frontliners who are working to fight the pandemic. As a response to the global pandemic, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has committed to fund efforts to develop a vaccine against the coronavirus with a whopping $250 million. The vaccine is what Gates believes will be able to put a stop to the pandemic once and for all. Now that you've watched through the top 10 motivational tips from Bill Gates, what would you do if your net worth is $107.1 billion? Which tip will you start applying in your personal life right now? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below, and we'll respond to all of your comments within the first hour. If you enjoyed this video, you should check out our video on the top 10 motivational tips from Jeff Bezos to learn what makes the world's richest man tick and what inspires him to continue creating, innovating, and expanding. Stay tuned, stay educated.